Death, taxes, and Tennessee beating Kentucky in football. Boy, there was a lot of points, too many points defensively for Tennessee, but the expected outcome, Tennessee wins big at Kroger Field.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into it. Reacting here to Tennessee's 56-34 win over Kentucky on the road at Kroger Field. I'm your host, Cain, so happy to have you guys along for the ride here early on a Sunday morning. Maybe you're on your way to church. Maybe you're up at 2 a.m. listening to this, watching this. I appreciate you guys for tuning in for a little instant reaction show. Again, Tennessee 56-34 winner over Kentucky. This episode is brought to you in part by our friends over at Game Time, where you can download the Game Time app, create an account, put in the redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, shout out to our friends over at Game Time. We're going to react and kind of go over our, again, this is instant reaction moments. I'm at home. I didn't travel this week because, long story short, baseball this week was going to go to Nashville tomorrow. They ended up canceling that. They hired a head coach today. It's a long day, long week baseball-wise, but I was never traveling to Kentucky, so I'm able to go and record this right after the game is over. So literally, normally when I do my post-game shows, it's like an hour and a half after or whatever because I'm doing other media obligations. No, this is, I got my On3 stuff done real quick, and this is right after the final buzzer. So we're going to instant react to what we saw, talk about Joey Aguilar's game, the return of the explosives, and some defensive concerns because, again, this is another day that ends in Y. All that and more here on this instant reaction Locked On Vols. Man, 56-34. How about that? Love the way Tennessee started this game. Tennessee goes and scores a touchdown on its first offensive possession, 4 plays, 75 yards, taking only a minute 19 off the clock. But then it punts its next 2 possessions. But then after that, heading into the halftime break, heading into the second quarter rather, it scores 2 more touchdowns. Tennessee had 5 first quarter possessions. Pretty incredible. Punts its first possession of the second quarter, goes touchdown to end the first half, goes touchdown to begin the second half in the third quarter, and then it possessed the football one time in the fourth quarter where it just drained the clock, going 59 yards on 12 plays, taking 8 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock to end this football game for the final score of 56-34. And you look at the scoring, man, and Tennessee, the return of the explosives. Drive number 1, Tennessee scores a touchdown, the big the big one to 35-yard strike to Chris Brazzell, going up 7-0. Joey Aguilar 3 of 3 on that opening possession for 59 yards. The second touchdown Tennessee scored was in Idris Farouk, batted ball at the line of scrimmage, playing some games up front with the defensive line, and he picks that sucker off, takes it 45 yards to the house, 14-0. Defensive takeaway, defensive score. Gotta love that. Star Thomas got into the scoring action after Kentucky went 71 yards on their own with Kendrick Law, making it 14-7. It was Star Thomas that goes it was Star Thomas that rumbled in from the 1 yard, but the heavy hitter on that drive was a 47-yard striker from Joey Aguilar to Chris Brazzell. So it's 21-7. Tennessee goes 28-7. Deshaun Bishop follows his blockers around left side on 4th and goal to score from the 1. That, too, was set up by a defensive takeaway inside the 10-yard line. So Tennessee's humming, 21-point lead at 28-7. Then you had Kentucky that scored 14 straight. It was a Cutter Boley 56-yard touchdown strike to DJ Miller. Boo Carter was beat on the double move, 28-14. It was Cutter Boley to J.J. Hester for the 2-yard score. They did not, okay, this is not the drive. They went for 2-point conversion. This was the one that annoyed me. This was the drive in the first half that annoyed me, man. Cutter Boley ended a 16-play, 96-yard drive that took 8:35 off the clock, going 2 yards to J.J. Hester in the back of the end zone. On that drive specifically, Kentucky converted on 3 third downs and 1 fourth down. Prior to that drive, Kentucky had managed just 1 first down in the game, and it came off penalty. So you're sitting there 28-21, with however much time, 1:37 left before the half, and Kentucky was going to get the football back at halftime. So it was really frustrating, the explosive plays for Kentucky as well in this football game. But then Tennessee executes a great 2-minute offense. Struggle with it at Mississippi State, struggle with it against Arkansas, struggle with it against Alabama, obviously. but they got it in this game against Kentucky. Tennessee works the 2-minute offense to perfection, 10 plays, 75 yards, 132 off the clock, 13-yard strike over 2 defenders by Joey Aguilar of the seam route to Ethan Davis, who played in his first game since the second game of the year. 35-21 heading into the locker room. Tennessee came out firing again in the second half. Joey Aguilar over the top to Mike Mathews, 62-yard strikes. It's one of those that we like to call, F it, Mathews is down there somewhere, and let's just throw it up, right? But no, really, the safety vacated the middle of the field. Aguilar throws it away from 2 defenders, allowing Mathews to come back, get it over the middle, and that go route kind of turned into not necessarily a post, but over to the middle of the field. That was a good play on both ends, 42-21. Peyton Lewis rumbles in from the 2-yard line. Chris Brazzell, again, a heavy hitter on that drive, a 50-yard reception. It's 49-21 with just under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, so Tennessee has retaken a big-time lead. DJ Miller, 27-yard touchdown from Cutter Boley, 49-27 with just under a minute the third quarter. And then here's when Tennessee just drains it all down. Deshaun Bishop scores his second touchdown of the game, 5-yard run, 28 points is the lead for Tennessee. It was set up by another explosive play, 56 yards from Braylon Staley, 56-27, and then Kentucky would score one more time. J.J. Hester on the 7-yard touchdown reception, 11 plays, 75 yards, 56-34. That was the final score. Also, J.J. Hester, I think he had 2 receptions coming into this game. J.J. Hester had 2 touchdowns in this football game. That's a little annoying, but it is what it is. So the explosive plays for Tennessee in a big way, right? Let's look at this. Tennessee tallied 7 plays of 15 yards or more. Joey Aguilar in this football game, which is pretty incredible. I've got this stat right here. Joey Aguilar in this football game was 5 for 5 on passes 35 yards or more down the field. 7 different players with a touchdown in this football game. 56 points for Tennessee's offense, the most against an SEC opponent since the 2022 season. And we all remember the 2022 season because that's kind of what we try to use as a, we try to compare everything to the 2022 offense. But Joey Aguilar was phenomenal down the field passing. He was 5 for 5 on passes 35 yards or more down the field. Phenomenal work. So 7 plays through the air of 15 yards or more down the field, 35 yards, 47 yards, 19. So just, almost making it 20 plays, 7 plays of 20 yards or more. 24 yards, 62 yards, 50 yards, 56 yards. Not a great running game, but they did have 2 plays where they had 17 yards on the ground. That was Star Thomas in both of those instances. So, Tennessee's offense was a story in this one, obviously. Racks up over 500 yards of total offense, 504 yards, 396 through the air. Hello, SEC Player of the Week, probably, Joey Aguilar. Did get over 100 yards on the ground, but it took that until that final drive of the football game where they more than doubled their rushing total in that football game. 108 yards on the ground. Not a good running day for Tennessee, and that's not great because I thought Tennessee had an opportunity to really rack up some rushing yards in a game against a Kentucky defense that is not good. 23 first downs for the Volunteers. Kentucky actually had 25. Tennessee was 4 of 8 on third down. It took until the third quarter, I want to say, to convert on their first third down. 1-1 on fourth down. That was at the goal line, and that was a Deshaun Bishop touchdown. Tennessee, 5 of 6 in the red zone tonight. Did not turn the football over. Only had 1 sack. Defensively, had 6 TFLs, which is okay. Did have 2 takeaways that led to 14 points in the first half. But also, you had the defense for Tennessee. They gave up 2 explosive pass plays. A 71-yard touchdown reception for Kendrick Law in the first half, and a 56-yard touchdown reception by DJ Miller in the first half. So for as good as Tennessee was at creating defensively in the first half, it also giveth away, and that's the frustrating part. So overall in this football game, Tennessee defense, 239 yards given up on explosive plays through the air, 71 yards, 56 yards, 19, 32, 15, and 28, and 18 through the air. And they also gave up 4 rushing plays of 10 yards or more. They gave up rushing gains of 14, 17, 13, and 16. Again, I mentioned that third down, that drive, that was just a backbreaker. They had allowed 1 first down in the game to that point, and it came off penalty, and Kentucky was 3 of 4 on third downs on 1 drive. Just phenomenal work. But anyway, Tennessee scored too much. That defense was too bad. Tennessee could do whatever it wanted to offensively. 56-34 the winner in this football game for the University of Tennessee. We'll continue to come back, react here on this post-game show. This is Locked On Vols. Stay tuned. College football is back, man. You gotta love it. Couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy in the stands. There's just nothing like it, but let's be real. Actually getting tickets can feel like more of a battle than the game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's why I use the Game Time app. It gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices with no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay. The app makes it super simple. I could see exactly what my view was from my seat before purchasing. I love zone deals as well. Pick a section, Game Time picks the seats for you, and you save big. Honestly, it's cheaper, it's faster, and less stressful than any other way that I've bought tickets. So take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, put in the redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create that account, put in the redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. The NBA is back, right? And there's no better place to get in on all that action than over at FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game more exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. I'm going to say that again. $300 in bonus bets to new customers when your first $5 bet wins. So head on over to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, guys and gals, Tennessee a 56-34 winner over Kentucky. Expected. Tennessee scores a lot of points against Kentucky. Tennessee beats Kentucky. It's been pretty close games outside of the 2022 season in this matchup under Josh Heupel, but there's a lot of points. But again, it felt like this game was never in doubt outside of that time Kentucky cut it to within a touchdown at 28-21 with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half, and they were getting the football back. That was really the only time in this game that you felt like, could Tennessee lose this game? It was frustrating, don't get me wrong, especially defensively, but outside of that one time, it never felt like this game was out of within reach for Kentucky. 21 points for Tennessee in the first quarter, 14 in both the second and third quarter, 7 in the fourth quarter, 7 points for the Wildcats in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter when they cut it close, 6 in the third quarter, and 7 in the fourth quarter. 56-34 is the final, a 22-point win for Tennessee in this one. Cutter Boley, never thought he was that good of a quarterback. Boy, they talked about him like he was a future Heisman on the broadcast. I don't quite understand that. 330 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. He played like one tonight, though. No doubt about that. He looked really, really good, Cutter Boley did. But so did Tennessee's quarterback, Joey Aguilar. Man, so impressive. 20 of 26 on the night, 396, 3 touchdowns, completed passes at a 77% clip. Dude is incredible. Man, do I wish that Tennessee had him earlier, And it's been a wild year. I was just kind of sitting here thinking, man, what a weird year. You had Nico that left at the end of spring practice, and Tennessee was scrambling for a quarterback, right? And there was everybody was kind of settled, right? And then you go and get Joey Aguilar, and it turns out to be okay. And then sitting here this week, and it's like nobody envisioned Tony Vitello not being Tennessee's coach next year. But when an opportunity like the San Francisco Giants pops up, you're like, okay, you're crazy not to take it. So you're at the end of fall ball, you're at the end of October, and it's not like that there's a lot of coaches that are just sitting here like saying, okay, well, put me in, coach. I'll go to Tennessee. Like the coaching carousels in May and June. Tennessee, of course, promoted Josh Elander, associate head coach. I think that was the right call. That happened on earlier on Saturday morning. But it's just kind of weird to sit here in a year where it's like Nico, you never thought Nico would ever leave, like once he came back in December, yet he does, and the timing was awful. And then Tony Vitello leaves, never would imagine that to happen, and the timing was awful as well. Just kind of a weird year in that regard, but it's worked out better than anybody could have ever imagined in football with Joey Aguilar. I mean, Josh Elander I think is going to do a great job, but it's not like you're sitting here saying like, oh, we're expecting him to do better than Tony. I mean, Tony won a national championship. So anyway, this is not a baseball podcast, but I thought that was kind of unique. Just talking about Joey Aguilar, just phenomenal work. I do want to mention one other note on Cutter Boley. I took this screenshot from the broadcast. This was in the first half. I'm not sure if he got in. No, I think these were the only ones that he had in the game. Yeah, let me double check here. Home, big plays. Yes, okay. Cutter Boley, second FBS quarterback with multiple 50-yard passing touchdowns in a game versus an AP-ranked team. So he's the second quarterback in FBS this season to complete multiple 50-yard touchdown throws against an AP-ranked opponent. The only other quarterback that has done that this season is Tennessee's Joey Aguilar against the Georgia Bulldogs. I thought that note was a heck of a stat, and so I wanted to share it here on the broadcast. Joey Aguilar had a fantastic game. Tennessee, again, did not run the football well. It was really a struggle bus for Tennessee early on. Second half, they were kind of getting there going. I mean, respectable numbers, 6.4 yards per rush for Star Thomas, 3.4 yards per rush for Deshaun Bishop. He had 2 scores. Thomas had to score. Peyton Lewis had a score, 4 attempts, 9 yards, and 1 touchdown. But overall, not a good running day. Obviously, when you throw the football well, this is one of my favorite stats of the night, and I can't believe it's taken me 17 minutes into this show to mention it. Tennessee had 3 wide receivers that passed the century mark. 6 receptions, 107 yards, and a touchdown for Mike Mathews. And I love how they got him involved. 2 receptions early in the first football game on the first drive. 2 receptions there late in the football game when he found the end zone, or right after halftime, I guess. They were making it a point to get Mike Mathews involved early on. I like that. 6 receptions for 105 yards for Braylon Staley. He was a yard short late in the fourth quarter, and somebody told Josh Heupel there on that last drive, hey, throw one to Braylon Staley, get him over 100 yards so you can have 3 of them. I'm glad they did that. 4 catches, 138 yards, and a touchdown for Chris Brazzell. Good to see him getting back on track. Ethan Davis, how about that, man? First game since week 2, and he had a touchdown. 2 receptions, 23 yards, and a touchdown. That was great to see from Ethan Davis. Defensively, again, just too much. We'll talk more about this on Monday's show, but goodness gracious. Tennessee went 6 quarters plus without a sack. That is not good. That is not good whatsoever, but they did get a sack in the second half. 1 sack, 6 TFLs. Had a pick. Idris Farouk was a pick 6. That's 5 defensive touchdowns on the year. That's second in FBS. So that was good, but again, way too many explosive plays, and we'll talk way more about that on Monday's show. Quickly before we say goodbye, Tennessee and Ole Miss, it will be a night game, 7:30 Eastern Time on ABC. Oklahoma has lost 2 games, not in a row, but they've lost 2 games. They lost on Saturday 34-26 to Ole Miss. John Mateer, again, coming back from injury. He has not looked good since coming back. 17 of 31, 223, 1 touchdown. Not running the ball effectively either. 13 carries, 17 yards, no touchdowns in this football game. Oklahoma, again, has lost 2 of their last 3. They lost to Texas 2 weeks ago. They beat South Carolina 26-7 last week, and then lost to Ole Miss at home 34-26. So, going to be interesting. Oklahoma's got a good defense. They don't run the football traditionally well at all. And John Mateer does not look the same, obviously, since his injury. They did run the football pretty well with Robinson in the game yesterday, 109 yards off 9 carries, 2 touchdowns. So that's interesting, something we'll have to pay attention to for sure. So Oklahoma coming into Neyland Stadium, it will be a night game. Texas A&M destroyed LSU. LSU now has 3 losses on the year. Alabama down by 8 with a little over 2 minutes to go, came back, won 29-22. On the road to South Carolina, it's never easy. That was a really good comeback for Alabama. Vanderbilt Vanderbilt edged Missouri with a late touchdown, 17-10. Texas outlasted Mississippi State, 45-38. Where's that defense, right? And Auburn came from behind to beat Arkansas, 33-24. Tennessee, a 56-34 winner over Kentucky. Just as you'd expect, Tennessee now 6-2. 3-2 in Southeastern Conference play, and back home next week against the Oklahoma Sooners before the second bye of the season. We'll have more reaction, more things to talk about, all that coming up on a Monday show. Appreciate you guys for being here. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody.